my name's Grace Power. I'm with My Gold Sugar, and today we're going to be doing a demonstration of a half-arm sugaring using the pure gold sugar from My Gold Sugar. The first thing you want to do before you get started is make sure the skin is exfoliated, that it's dry and clean. If the person has put on lotion earlier in the day, you're going to want to make sure to get that lotion cleansed off. And if you can warn them before they come in for their appointment not to put any lotion on to exfoliate their skin, you're going to have a lot better result getting the hair removed with the first pass. So just to demonstrate, I have exfoliating gloves, and that's what I like to use if the person hasn't exfoliated, or especially when I'm doing big body areas like arms, legs, backs, chest. Plus it's a nice little treatment for them to get a little bit of exfoliation. And that's going to remove some of the dead skin off the body so that when you're doing the sugar, your sugar will not pull as much dead skin and you'll get more usage out of each piece of sugar. When you're doing sugaring, you want to wear a really tight glove. The sugar tends to pull your glove with it, so if you have too loose of a glove, you're going to have a harder time controlling the sugar ball. These gloves are nitrile, so they're not latex, which some clients tend to have latex allergies, so I just avoid latex altogether. To prep the skin, I'm just going to tone it first, and also this will get any little bit of oils or body oils or dirt or anything that's on the skin. It'll cleanse it off and prepare the skin. I also use this product afterwards to remove the sugar. Okay. The next thing you want to do, you want to make sure that that toner is completely dry, and then go ahead and apply some powder to the skin. You don't want too much powder, especially on arms and legs. You will use more powder on things like underarms, bikini line, face that tend to be a little more oily or sweaty. You can start with the sugar warmed up, which I like to do just because it will pull the hair less as you're putting it on. But you can use a sugar cold, but if you do, you want to let their body and your hand kind of warm it up. You will apply it a lot slower if you don't start with it warmed up. You can easily warm your sugar in a microwave if it comes in a plastic jar. But you can also use a low temperature warmer to keep it warm throughout the day if you're going to be doing a lot of sugaring. So to make this a little bit faster, I go ahead and apply the sugar in a few different spots. As the sugar sits on the skin, it's going to help loosen the hair, and it also gives time for the sugar to mold onto the hair, so you'll get a better result when you go to pull. If you put it on and pull it off right away, you may not get as much hair out, and you'll have to go over the skin another time. So before you pull the sugar off, make sure that the skin is pulled tight, especially from the place where you're going to pull the sugar. I like to hold the arm right behind it and kind of squeeze. If you can put some pressure on the freshly sugared area right afterward, you are going to help them feel less of a sting. And then what's great about sugar is I'm going to be able to reuse this ball over and over again, basically until it gets too much hair or dead skin kind of wrapped up in it. It will start to lose its stickiness after a while, but sometimes you can do the whole arm with just one piece of sugar. You might be able to tell that my sugar has firmed up a little bit compared to when I first put it on. It was a little more melty and warm. Now it's starting to become more of a sugar paste. And I'm just going to be doing section by section at this point. The sugar is the opposite of wax as far as putting it on the skin and removing it. You are going to go against the hair growth and then pull with the hair growth. This definitely works the best with sugar. You can do it the opposite way, but you won't get as much hair pulled with the sugar. But it also helps prevent ingrowns. It causes less irritation. You get less hair breakage, all because you're pulling that hair in the direction of the way it grows, and you're not pulling it back and sometimes snapping the hair back and breaking it, like sometimes with wax we'll do that. It is safe to use the sugar on an area more than once. I have gone over the skin up to 3 or 4 times over the same area and haven't had any problems. You do want to watch your client's reaction. If they are really irritated after the first or second pull, you do not want to keep reapplying or reapply powder, especially on sensitive areas, and the powder will give a little protective layer for the skin. Now on the arms, the hair grows a few different directions, so you'll want to adjust which way you're putting on the product based on that hair growth. When you're applying the sugar, you do want to go against the hair growth. You're going to have the best results by putting the sugar on against the hair growth and pulling with the hair growth. That will prevent hair breakage, which will allow the hair to grow in really nice and less chance of ingrown hairs and things like that. When you're putting the sugar on, you don't want to be in a hurry. Just go slow. The sugar will work for you. As far as the longer it molds onto the skin and the longer it stays on the skin, it is some of the lemon juice is kind of seeping down into the follicles. It's helping to soften the hair in the follicle, and it'll slip out easier. I've made the mistake before of going too fast with sugar, and then you just end up going over and over the area, thinking that you're saving time by going faster, but it helps to just slow down and let the sugar do most of the work for you. So now I've gone over the entire arm. Sometimes I'll just do a couple little checks to see at different angles if I've missed any hairs. You shouldn't have to use tweezers hardly ever with sugar, because you can just use the sugar to get even individual hairs. And I'll just demonstrate that. If I can find a hair, here's like a little hair here. You can just use your finger and go in a little circle over that hair and then just flick off. The other thing you can do is if you're having a really stubborn hair, you can let the sugar sit on that area for a while and just go to another area while it's sitting on. It's going to help loosen that hair, and you'll get it out the next time you go over it. On the inner part of the arm and the elbows, just always make sure that you're pulling the skin tight. If the sugar is not coming off, a lot of times it's because you're not pulling the skin tight enough. So make sure to readjust your hold, and you could even adjust their arm in a different position just to make sure that the skin is super tight. So now that I've completed sugaring the arm, I'm going to cleanse the skin with the toner. This is also going to soothe any irritation she might feel on her arm. And it also will remove any sugar residue. Sugar is water soluble, which is awesome. You do want to make sure that you're using a cleanser that is water-based at the end. You can also just use water, which still feels very soothing and cool, and will also get rid of any sugar that might still be on the skin. Post-care, as the hair is growing back in, I do like to encourage the customer to exfoliate the skin, especially about a week or 2 weeks out when some of the hairs might start trying to come through the skin. That is the best time to exfoliate. They can use scrubs. I also give all my clients a pair of exfoliation gloves on their first service, and then encourage them to use that in between appointments as well as right before their next service to help my job go a little bit faster, and I'll use less product. So that is the complete demonstration of removing, sugaring the half arm.